Alright, so we've had some questions about what prices are like here. So we're gonna go around today trying some different foods and check out a grocery store and kind of a fresh market and talk about some of just like the daily expenses that we have. 有的人问我们在青岛的价格怎么样，所以我们今天去几个地方给你们看我们每天买的东西卖的多少钱？我们去一个怎么说超市，一个市场和一个拉面店。
这是我们一家。你好，旁青岛。我叫美丽。我叫茉莉。This is my family, and we are living Asian.
，Very good.
Very good.
里面是什么？
吃红豆，那个好吃，那个 OK， 那个 OK。
So street food is always the cheapest. We just got these red bean cakes for 10 kwai for probably 10 of them. So that's like $1.50.
Sweet. Let's go check out the noodle place. You did it. Good? You don't like that one? Wynnie, what do you think? You liked it, Wynnie? Has chocolate in it? So we just got noodles, and it was 46 kwai altogether. So for all four of us to eat lunch, it was 46 kwai, and that is about $6.50. And right now my kid is just riding down the street on her bike, so I gotta go. Wynnie, over here. Wynnie. Come on, Wynnie, let's go. Wynnie, stop. Wynnie, stop.
So this is the grocery store closest to us, and I would just compare it to like a normal neighborhood grocery store in the US. So we'll just show kind of some of the daily goods.
So with like hygiene stuff, it seems like if you're gonna get a foreign brand, then it's either about the same as you would pay in the States or it's more. So sometimes you can end up spending more if you're like specific on certain products. But then they also have just like Chinese brands that are pretty cheap. So if I'm specific about things that I like and that I use, then I will just get them in the States and bring them back with us. So like we'll pack a big cardboard box full of just essentials that we need. And it's not that I can't find it here, it's that I can get it cheaper and easier there. And so it just makes sense to just stock up when we're there. Locked on, baby.
So for bread, it's a smaller loaf, but 80 cents for like wheat bread. So what? Six and a half kwai.
So less than $1. Yep.
We don't eat a ton of meat or buy a lot of meat, but we'll go through and look at some of the fun stuff anyway. So they have an awesome produce section here too, but we kind of like the fresh market. I don't know why. It just feels like we're cooler than we are. So we're gonna go over there. Oh no! So fresh produce is definitely an area that I've noticed is a lot cheaper. I'll come and load up on, a lot of spinach, bok choy, carrots, onions, all kinds of stuff, and spend like I don't even know. I don't even think about how much it is because it's so cheap. I spend like maybe 60, 70 kwai, $10. Fresh produce here is really cheap.
机器收款20。
Go see the fishies. Wynnie, what are we seeing? The fishy? How do you say that in Chinese? You? Good. So cost of living is definitely lower here, but you can get pretty expensive if you do a lot of I don't know how to explain it. Like if you do a lot of activities and go out a lot and pick the higher end restaurants, then obviously it's going to be more expensive. And that kind of stuff can be even more expensive than in the States. Like even just extracurricular activities here are super expensive. If your kids want to play soccer or dance, that can get really pricey, and they have you pay a year in advance for the whole year. But then if you just shop at like local markets or local grocery stores, it's really cheap when it comes to food. So, and the taxis are also super cheap. What else?
Rent.
So Qingdao is like a beautiful city. It has the mountain and it also has the ocean. And so as far as rent goes, if you want like a beachfront, it's expensive for here. But if you're going to compare it to Southern California, it's so cheap to be able to live on the ocean. So it's just it just depends on what you're going to compare it to. Because yeah, you can get super cheap places, like rent-wise can be really, really cheap, or you can also find outrageously priced places.
So I think it's interesting living in a city like this, and I imagine a lot of China's like this, but you can get anything you want, and there's such a big range of how much you can spend to get that. I mean, if you're talking about apartments, you can find some really cheap apartments, you can find some really expensive apartments, and I think it's just a matter of taste, and that goes for restaurants and hospitals.
And this is our life. Stop. Hey, be nice.
Make sure to like and subscribe.